Hello, welcome back to Jay's Bass Channel. Today we have the Player Precision. This is a 2024 model, obviously with the maple neck. I've had this particular one for a few months, so I've really got a chance to do some rehearsals with it. And out of the last batch of basses that I picked up, this is the one I've decided to keep. So I've actually, out of all the basses you see on the channel of the newer basses, this one I've played the most with a band and done a lot of rehearsals and some recording with it. My bandmates particularly said they liked the sound of this one, and the tracks that I've recorded sound good. My point of reference is I typically play some old Fender modded 70s P basses, so that's kind of my point of reference when I think about what I like, and this one stands in pretty well with those. The body weight, very good. Second thing you want to know is always the neck. This is an excellent neck. It's size-wise, it fits the hand well. It's I guess they would call it a C shape, whatever, but it's obviously not real skinny up top like a Jazz or the super wide ones that some of the vintage ones are. This kind of a nice in the middle, enough to fill your hand, but not to feel like a tinker toy. I feel like a Jazz often feels like a toy in my hand. And I do appreciate the large Telecaster bass necks as well. But for a precision neck, this one rates very high with me. I couldn't imagine at this price point with this bass. I think this is, $700 or $800 bass, and this is as good a neck as you could ever expect. So let's go for the whole thing here. We got our bridge. Our bridge is a standard kind of lighter duty stock Fender bridge. I will be eventually replacing it with a high mass bridge, as I prefer those. The pickups are probably something I definitely want to replace. These are good sounding pickups, good solid pickups, but they're a little less aggressive than what I prefer. I might like one with a tiny bit larger sound, both on the bottom and the top. The mid on this is real nice. The output's about right. I don't like really hot pickups because it gives a lot of issues that I don't like dealing with, but this pickup in my mind could sound a little more aggressive, and I'm typically not playing a lot of metal right now. I'm doing more rock, country, and almost blues rock, and occasionally some punk stuff. But this is definitely a serviceable pickup, but I plan to, I'm actually I picked up one of these 62 precision pickups that Fender makes. I'm going to give that a try. So I'll actually have that in a video coming up. I'm going to mod this bass by replacing the bridge, the pickups, and possibly the tuners as well. So probably the lightest duty thing on the whole bass is the tuners. These are not super heavy duty tuners. They will get you through a gig without getting out of tune, but if you come back the next day, and this bass probably won't be in tune. A lot of my older basses, they'll sit in tune for 3 or 4 days, no problem, or a week. This one, not so much. So these are not terrible tuners, but they are not super robust either. Nothing to complain about, but I definitely do plan on replacing them. I don't know what I'm going to replace them with. I know the bridge here, I'm going to do the Fender high mass just because I already bought one. And I'm going to try those Fender 62 pickups. I use everything from the Geezer Butlers to older stock pickups to Bartolini's and different things and different basses. So we'll see what these pickups are like. So like I said, the bridge, very serviceable, but a light duty one. Tuners, definitely a little on the light duty side. The neck, very nice, kind of thick, hefty frets that I like. Body weight, great. I really don't have anything bad to say about this bass. The only modification I've done so far is I've got the strap bolted straight onto it. I kind of prefer that because I'm just, I don't like the thing falling off when I'm playing it. So there's that small modification that I've done. Now, one thing I will say, I've not pulled the pick guard off, so I have not inspected these pots. They seem to be working fine, but if I pull the pick guard off and find out that these pots are cheapos, those little teeny weeny ones, I'll probably put, some better quality pots in it. And when I do the second video on this bass, once it's modded, I will definitely talk about and maybe show, if I'm replacing the pots, I'll probably show the old pots and you know, talk about what went on there. Also, the strings that come on this bass are 105 to 45. That's my preferred gauge. But I noticed the stock strings that Fender puts on these Fender strings seem a little overly slinky to me, meaning they feel kind of loose. They have a softer core. I like a little tighter feel generally. Now, right now I'm tuned standard, and I typically do most of my bass playing in standard tuning. Of course, you know, I've played in bands where I play in C sharp and D occasionally, and even drop tune on the E string on an occasion. But typically, I play everything standard tuning, and the 105 to 45s seem good. But like I said, I would definitely not going to go with these Fender strings unless you like a very loose, slinky feel. So these strings are also a little older. Like I said, I've played this bass for a while, and these are the stock strings. So let's listen a little. And this bass is just going into my Great River preamp and right into my Burl converters. It's actually going through vintage 1176 compressor too, but I'm not adding much compression to it. So basically, you can see that the strings are very well balanced. This pickup was very easy to set up for that. The whole bass was, like I said, easy to set up out of the box. It didn't need a lot of work. Super close action is as low as I could get on any bass I've ever owned. This has low action like that. And the pickups were I don't think I adjusted them hardly at all to get the balance. Because a thing that you always want to do when you get a bass is be sure the strings are all at the same volume. So once you set your string height and your intonation here, you want to, you know, set the height of each part of the pickup with the precision to be sure all your string volumes are the same. Very important. You don't want, you know, one string not as loud as the others, because then you're going to tend to not to want to play on that string because it's not kicking ass the way that you want all your notes to do. So basically, like I said, I would, going into the strings, I can't wait to replace these strings with something a little bit stiffer that I think will give me a little more punch. And when I say the pickups are not giving me the kind of bite and output, well, maybe not the output. I like the output, okay, but you know, they seem a little lethargic. It could be a little bit. It could be the fact that the strings themselves are a little bit not as tight, you know, as I would like a stiffer, a slightly stiffer string. Now, some strings can be too stiff, and so the stiffness of a gauge like a 105 to 45 can vary quite a bit. So when you buy strings, you might want to notice that. So anyway, we'll try to wrap this up. Again, this is Jay's Bass Channel, and I'd really appreciate if you like it and follow. I'm trying to get some followers. I'm just starting the bass channel, and this is part of my first batch of maybe about 8 basses I'm reviewing, and I'll have some other content for you guys as well. We'll get into distortion pedals, recording bass, you know, fuzzes, all sorts of fun stuff. As long as you guys are watching, I'll keep making these videos. So any questions or suggestions, put in the comments below, and I'll try to reply as quickly as I can. But again, this is Jay's Bass Channel, and this is the Player Precision Bass, and it is stock. And hopefully you enjoyed this video. And I'll have to say, I recommend this bass. This is a good one. So I guess we will see you next time.